Welcome to Ultimate Sharky Gaming. Hello again, and today I'm doing a quick video on if you ever decide to try out a new god, a good way of doing so. The first step would be to search online for the most current builds that are out there. Have a good look at the builds. In this example, if I go to the god screen, you can see that I have started trying out Odin. So I'm thinking about having a go at a warrior's role, a solo lane role, and playing Odin. So what I've done is I've found a current build, and once you've got that build or a few builds that you can look at, I go down here to the god builder. The way I use this screen, and it's obviously different for different people, but the way I do it is the first two rows are what I build for an arena game, and then the second two rows are what I build for a conquest game. So as you can see, I've added the items here for conquest mode, which show up down here, and you can basically create the build. So if I was doing, for example, the arena one, and I'm going to use the breastplate of Valor, you click the item, you type in Valor, there's the item, and you select it, and then the main build down here is my conquest build. So if this was for the conquest build, I'd click on the build and it'd appear down here. So you use this build button to populate the bottom of the screen. So I don't have an arena build, I've just literally concentrated on the conquest one for now. Another thing to note is once you've got the build and you've added it into this, you can actually see kind of what the build does. And as a beginner, it's quite overwhelming. I'm still like, whoa, goes over my head. But if you look at this, you've got the attack speed. That's the main offense move, is the attack speed from this build anyway. And then you've got your defense, you've got your physical protections is the highest. Then you've got your magical protections, health and HP 5. So you can see physical protections and attack speed. And then your cooldown percent is definitely the biggest thing here. So the cooldown on all my abilities is significantly reduced, and therefore I'm protected and my attack speed's high. So you get an idea of what the build does, and it's always good to know what's happening there. So once you've done your build, you click save, and then that puts it in your custom. So that's the second step. So the first one is to search online for the build. The second one is to go to God Builder and add the build in there, get an idea of what the build is trying to achieve. And then check out your moves and abilities. They are here. So you've got your passive, then you've got your lunge move as ability 1, your Raven Shout as ability 2, Gungnir's Might ability 3, and then your ultimate is the Ring of Spears, which is the cage. So have a quick read of these and see roughly what the idea is on how to use those. I also checked a video on YouTube with a very good quick video on basically how to use these abilities, so I've done that as well. If you want to see what they do, then hit the play button. It will load up a video and you can actually physically see how those abilities are used. So it will load up a YouTube clip, and then you'll see the cage. The cage appears around the enemy, they can't escape, and then it disappears. So you get a good idea of what the abilities do and what they look like. And then once you've done that, I can't stress enough how important it is to have a practice. Rather than go straight into a game which can overload you with other things that you need to concentrate on, it's certainly worth having a practice. So what you do is you go to play, as if you're going to play a game, but you go to training mode up here, and then you go down to practice mode and jungle practice. So it's training, practice, jungle practice, and then hit play. You'll then accept the, I don't know why you have to accept it, but you do. And then in the top you can start typing in Odin, select your god. Another point to note is that all the skins are available if you want to see what they look like and play with the skins.
I will see the wrath of the sea.
So you've got all the different skins. So then you lock them in, and then we begin a practice. I've shown the practice video before, so on my channel you'll see that there's another guide on how to use this, but again I feel like it's worth reminding people about it, especially when you're new to the game and you don't understand about the gods. And of course I'm new to Odin, so this is new to me. So the first thing you do is I set mine to level 20, and I put the points in all my abilities, press I, and then I create my build. So literally there's my build, and then you've got your relics. These are the extra items here. So there we are. And you've got all these different rooms that you can go in and try out your new character. So I usually go straight into the Odin bots. And you can go through the abilities then. So I know ability 1 is my lunge. So there you go. So you just get to know what that is. The second ability is the shield, which explodes. A popular move with Odin, from what I've researched, is that if you activate your shield, then activate ability 1, and then lunge, it explodes and does double damage. So you get your damage from your shield and your damage from your lunge. So you try again, like that. And then the ability 3 is the one with 3 different stages that you can select. So 1, 2, and it basically fires his spear. So I can do a stun with this, 1, 2, 3, and then click it. Oh, I missed. So again, it's good practice on targeting as well. We'll try again. So on the third pulse, you get a stun. So 1, 2, 3, and there he is, stunned. The first pulse, I believe, so he does a stomp. The first one, it increases attack speed from people around you. So allied gods, their attack speed increases, including minions, I believe. So, and then the ultimate ability is the cage. So we can just lock him in a cage and give him a good idea. Here we go. And fire this 1, 2. So we've got that one there. Then we can do this again. Does damage to all those in the circle. So yeah, you can see how that works. And then finally, because it's only a short video, I'm going to show you can go to the god bots. You can select, say, Ra, and then he appears there. And then you can have a little battle and just try out your moves. So the first thing I'm going to do is stun him. So 1, 2, 3. So there's the stun. Oh, he's blinded me. Boom. So there we go. So you can get to know the character, get to use the abilities, get to understand how they work, take out Gold Fury with your abilities. So it's a really good way to practice. So spend a good 10-15 minutes playing around with your abilities, getting used to how they work. You can you can reset your level, you can set to level 20, increase your level a level at a time, reduce your cooldowns, so you haven't got to wait for the cooldowns. Yeah, so you've got like item stack, change team, you've got lots of different options in here. So it's certainly worth having a little practice and making use of this, as you haven't got a queue for it, you can get to know your character, and then when you get into arena mode straight after this, you'll know what you're doing, you know what your moves do, and you'll be able to play the character. So I'm going to start, like literally I did this yesterday, so I've got the basics of Odin, how he works, and I'm going to start to play a solo role as warrior, rather than Artemis all the time, but I will be playing Artemis still a hell of a lot. So that is my introduction to new gods and the process that I use to get to know them and understand them, and it's certainly worth doing this with as many gods as you're comfortable with, getting to know how to use them, and it makes you a bit more aware of what's going on in normal games. So hopefully that will help. Leave a comment below and tune in for my next video, which should be uploaded soon. Thanks for watching. Old Sharky out. Bye!